Hey guys, my name is Seniac and welcome back to another episode of Dead End here in City Skylines, where last episode, guys, we set up our very own water treatment plant, which we are going to have, hopefully, dropping in that sewage water, cleaning it up real good, sterilizing it, and turn it into clean drinking water that we can pump back up and provide to the residents of the region. It might be weird, but guys, out here in the desert, you gotta take every opportunity you can right now. Guys, welcome back to another episode. If you are enjoying this series, then please make sure you smash that like button down below. If you are new right here, then make sure you do subscribe so you are notified when that next episode does come out. Now, I asked you guys to give me some name suggestions of that brand new town we created, and I said, whatever the town's gonna be is what the name of the water treatment plant is also going to be. And you guys went crazy in the comment section. We had some really cool ones, but I think there's only one that kind of stood out right now. And as we jump straight into it, here is our water treatment plant, which we got a lot of stuff turned off right now because obviously we're trying to make a little bit of cash money moolah. Here is the little town that we created, which is getting a little bit of a death wave, which we'll sort out. But obviously it had to be called Brown Town is what it had to be called, right? Welcome to Brown Town. Get it? Hilarious. Which means this was going to be called then Brown Town. There's water facility, waste facility. I think I'm going to call it waste facility. I think I spelled it right, but there we go. Brown Town Waste Facility. Now, once we start making a little bit more money and we got more disposable income on the weekly, we'll then start turning more of these stuff in. But a few of you guys asked me, yo, Cedric, why don't you switch these up to the larger ones, or why don't I switch it up to the eco ones at the moment? It all comes down to money at the end of the day. I know I got a load of this stuff and whatnot, and if I did drop in eco ones, it cost me more money. Obviously, it doesn't drop as much polluted in. But, you know, I kind of like this. I like kind of seeing the gradient change. I might change it. I might stick with it. I'm not too sure just yet. But now we've got it in. We are polluting the river slightly. If I check out the pollution, it is slightly polluted in the river. You can see all the way down to the little waterfall down here. There's pollution in there, which is not good. But as we get, as we basically make more and more money, I'll slowly start turning more and more of these on. And it will kind of settle it all, and we'll eventually have clean drinking water in the basin at the very end. But what are we doing today? Well, today I want to kind of plan and set up some potential new towns as we spread around the Dead End region. Now, it's all going to be based on the train line. I want to kind of build the towns based on the train line. So if you kind of think about the train line ends here, the industrial area, the passenger train line, that is. It goes through here, all like kind of sunken down. I want to kind of sink down this a little bit more before it pops back up. This at the moment kind of goes underground, but I've completely changed my mind on this. I want to sink this going all the way through as well, so all these roads become like small little bridges. And it's going to pop up here, and then we're going to try and create a little town here on the edge. And then I kind of realised there's like this little kind of indent here that is semi-flat. Build a small little town there. So that train line is going to stop to a town here, and it will end to a town just over here. We might have a river crossing over there at some point. I don't know. I could run a simultaneous train line from there to there, going in this direction down to here. I don't know. All those possibilities are going to be up and running, but I really want to work with the train lines in Dead End. That's really what I want to do. So we're going to hopefully try and get some stuff set up. And it looks like these guys need a little bit of a crematorium, so I might kind of build here in the middle of nowhere a little area for crematoriums, cremations, burials, all that jazz. So let's get things rocking and rolling. So I think first things first then, we have a little bit of commercial industrial. We don't really quite have that residential demand just yet. So I think we'll focus on building the little crematorium. Now, if I go to the healthcare, there's a bunch of like variations that I've got. I know recently I built in medical center over there, but when it comes to death, it is literally just these 3 buildings over here. We've recently emptied this, which I'm now actually going to delete it because I want my train line to tear through it. And I'm going to move these eventually to whatever I build over here. But my options are pretty much, I got the crematoriums, 720 each to run. I have obviously the burial site, the cemetery, 160 to run right now. But then we have stuff like this here, like the V cemetery right now, which is has a patient capacity of a lot more, but it looks a lot more fancier. And then we have the same option over here, but this is very expensive and very expensive to run. We have this crematorium over here, which has got like a little beautiful little glass roof and stuff. So I might go down those routes and see what we can kind of come up with. Now, we're going to pick a little point right now, which I think I literally just take off this little segment here. So if I brought this up by 10, there we go. And then this is going to lead into a small little area where we'll have the crematorium, a couple of cemeteries and stuff like that, which will hopefully kind of handle the majority of the death care within this little section anyway. I'm not sure how far it's going to eventually spread out, but we got our own little place. So if I bring this up, and what I'll do is I'll do a 10 by 10 little bit of a bend here, which can kind of then shoot in this way by 10. And then on that bend, we'll bring this up to there, and that will be kind of like the little setup that we have for the crematorium. Now, what I'll do as well on each end, if I actually kind of delete that back a bit and actually only go up by 5, I'm going to actually drop a little cul-de-sac so we have like a little turning circle available for these guys when they drive down here, and do it there as well. So it's not like complete dead-end roads. Ha! You said it again, boys. Dead end. Hilarious. Right, anyway, get those in. So not complete dead ends. You drive in, you can kind of turn around and head back as you pull into this area. So pretty much got it all nicely set up there. So, right, okay. So, I'm going to go for this one. It's only 35,000. It costs just as much as it does for a crematorium. So place that down there. And that is a cemetery, and it has a capacity of 8,000. That's a lot of peeps that we can potentially put in to the ground. As horrible as that does sound. As horrible as that does sound, guys. We'll pull the water from just over here, and I'll just kind of follow the road to a certain extent to there. And there we go. It's going to need power. I know that. I get that. But let me first set up then some of the... Oh, hold on. Actually, I'm going to move these ones over. If I put into pause mode for a second, then we won't kind of mess things up too much. So, right. We'll have a crematorium just here. And let me grab the other one real quick. Place this one just over here. So I have double crematoriums just there. They do need power. So what I'll do is we'll kind of mimic the power situation with the solar paneled car parking spots. So if I did that on, say, just here, it provides the power, but it also provides a little bit of parking nearby. It's not the fanciest kind of area. I mean, there's only so much you can kind of do with this. But if I build another one there and then build another one here and kind of do some more little road network, we can eventually build this area up. This will kind of just keep expanding as time goes on. So into play mode then, we should have the power for both of, or all three of these buildings, should I say. And then we'll fast forward now. There we go. So plenty of room, plenty of capacity. We'll see how it kind of rock and rolls, but it kind of gives Browntown a little bit more coverage. Yeah, it's a little bit out the way for these guys, but with the increased capacity right now, we should be able to settle it all. And it is slightly out the way, so nobody has to kind of live near a burial site or anything like that, which is spooky dooky. But there we go. So this area, again, like I said, we'll kind of build it up as time goes on and make it a little bit more pretty and kind of add more stuff to it. For now, that's literally all it's going to be. Until we can get more fun things set up. Why is oh, there we go. We're utilizing the cul-de-sac, guys. Amazing. Amazing. Right, so let's take a look at then sinking this train line before we then bring it across here and then decide where our next couple of towns are going to be. Got our water towers just there. They will eventually be gone once I get the water treatment plant all set up. But basically, we're going to make it sink all the way to... So if I pick this one... Right, I'm going to have to pick all these little nodes right now. And it does include the road node. But I'll sort that out soon anyway. Right, to there, to there. And I'm going to bring it to the bend. Just to make sure that we have them all set up right. So select that. Oh, what happened? Oh, did I not do it right? Oh, I don't think I was holding down shift on some of this. And I think I might have deselected some of them. Damn it, you fool! Right, there we go. To there. So make it object height of U. Sinks all that. Does look a little bit crazy on this one side. It looks really crazy on that one side, which I'll sort it all out right now. So then if I deselect from U to U to U to there. Now actually if I include that one, and then what if I slope them? No, it's not really going to work that much. But let me just kind of sort this out right now. So if I delete the road, delete the road, and we can't quite make this road elevate up, can we? No, it's not a road that can do that. We kind of have to then go for like a normal style road. So if I did that to there by 5, did that to there by 5, and then we go back to normal style road. We then create our little crossing with the train line going underneath. It's not perfect. Like I said, it's not perfect just yet, but it should do the job for us. We just got to make this not look as freaking harsh right now, because it does look really, really bad, doesn't it? So, okay. If I selected U, U, U. Oh yeah, I forgot about the little nodes underneath. And just out of curiosity, can I slope that now? I can slope it, but some of it, like this, is not low enough. Here it's perfectly fine because we're crossing the road anyway. But I just got to find the right balance between the depth of the train line versus the bridge that we have set up. So can I actually put it into play? Right, there we go. Oh, that's perfect. There we go. Pause it right there. So I can select this node and get as close as I can to it, where I bring this up slightly. I mean, we are going to like have some certain bits of this elevated anyway. I think that's pretty much as good as we're going to get. One thing we haven't tried before I go any further is smoothing in the edge off. Or maybe then pushing the road back. There's a few options that we do have, but I don't know how well this is going to kind of work out. See, we're not really going to get the edge just there on those. And it does look quite sharp, and I don't want to drop a key wall in. But what if I did slightly push the road back? I'm using this section as a little tester. So if I selected all of this, right, and if I then go ahead and slightly push it back, does it make... I mean, it's destroying some of the buildings. Yeah, it's messed up my zoning slightly, but does it make... It doesn't make that now glitch out or look as bad as, say, that there. So I then can have this still sunken as low as the rest of it is. So let's sort the rest of it out then. I know that's already kind of bent with it. So if I go to here... Oh, where am I going? Where am I going right now? What's going on here? There we go. So I know it's not perfect, but it's just literally what we've got to do. And I'll bring it to... Actually, I won't select that one. And I'll now select from here and bring this kind of in line. Now, if I kind of slightly bent that out a bit and just kind of wiggled that slightly so it doesn't look too much of a shambles, we kind of then can go along with the sunkenness. So up to this point here is where we want the train line to be dropped down to. So if I then select all this and then tell these to be the object height of U. So it's dropped down a bit. And then we select U, U, and U to slope themselves as they slowly come up above ground. Just gotta rise this up to allow the train to go under. It's not, I mean, it's not amazing, but it's not the worst thing that we could have done. There's a bit there. Oh, there we go. Would that revolve around a little bit of flattening out. Yeah. You could spend too much time sorting that out. But it allows us then to have at least 2 of the connections cutting across without being impeded by the train line. Keeps the train line pretty much sunken down, which will then go on to kind of create a little bit more of a not so harsh side on the one side. Granted, it's going to look quite harsh on that side, but obviously we've built that. We've built like the road on it, which kind of creates the little harshness. I could change the road up to being slightly elevated, so you get like the little barrier going across in that little section. But I don't know whether if we could maybe build some type of a fence. So there's a park fence, amusement. We have a nature reserve fence. Would the nature reserve fence kind of look better for us? I mean, it's going to be quite difficult to actually place in because of the nodes and whatnot. Right, if I ran this to, let's say, there, and then try and get it to over there, I think it might be just as simple as trying to, like, select it like this, and then move it. Is it that easy? Almost. It's got to get that last bit over here. Right, now can I move it? Yeah. Okay, no I can't. See, I've never done anything like this, guys, so this is like completely new to me. But if I got that right up to, let's say, there. And some of it dips down slightly in some areas. I suppose that's how some of the area kind of falls out. But if I line to object height of you, you're going to get the odd bit that does sink down. Now, can that be rectified by... Nah. Do I roll with it? Even though some bits drop down? How do we feel about that? Oh, so it's not... Wait, hold on. You are not the fence I selected. Can I upgrade? Ooh, ooh. Do you know what? I like the wooden fence because if Dead End had barriers, there would be these barriers, wouldn't they? They really would. Now, when it comes to bends, is that where we would want it? This is, again, this is all completely new to me. I don't know what I'm doing. It's not too bad, right? Oh, that could be the one, pushing it right against, up to the road. That's what I should have done. Alright, move the nodes, not the middle bits. Right, that... Ooh, what's going on here? Right, that's a lot better, isn't it? I like. Do you know what? I kind of do like where some bits where it might drop down. It's as if like we kind of like when they built it. It's that old. Some bits need repairing. It kind of gives us that kind of vibe. But I like the idea of having it more safety. And I'll do the same going across. I won't do it just now though, because I want to kind of focus on getting all the other stuff set up. But that's the vibe we're going to kind of go for. That's the vibe we're going to kind of go for. So. Now then, this is going to be the interesting bit, is actually now setting up this. Who are you? Oh yeah, I got some extra train stations, didn't I? I kind of forgot about that. Right, if I bring you out to here, but then we want to upgrade that now like this. Oh, I forgot this one. Now, I might have to make it at least cross... Oh, yeah, we've already got one there. And then sort the rest out. So if I just kind of then upgrade these, well, yeah, I want to upgrade these little bits of roads. But they won't upgrade, oh snap. They won't upgrade the way I want them to. So I'm going to have to cause some destruction to kind of fix stuff, is what I've got to do. So bear with me on this, guys. Just bear with me on this. But it will look very good in the end. So there. To there. Oh, do you know what? I don't need one going up across that way, do I? I don't think I do. So, elevating that up. So, only a small one. To there. Sweet, sweet, sweet. And then we just got to elevate this little section. Which makes it the whole little bit, which I don't want. That is not staying to the ground. There we go. And then that... Oh, snap. That didn't stay to the ground either. Why is this one not playing ball? Right, stays to the ground. Elevated up. Oh, it does that last bit. Right, okay. I realise what it's now trying to do. So if I bring it to here instead. Right, and then what I'll do is... Why has it gone so weird here? Did I purposely put a crossing in? Can I delete that? Oh, snap. Right, I'm going to bring that to there. There we go. Finally. Wowzers. Right, I've done a lot of destruction. So let me just kind of resort out the zoning that I've now kind of killed off. There we go. I do all the residential first. And then commercial, or what's left of commercial. There we go. Play mode. So some of the areas are a little bit higher than others. That's just the natural grading of the land. I could do stuff like bringing that down. Bringing that down. Because I don't need to be that high. And then bringing some of this up. Bringing some of that up. There we go. There we go. There we go. We're looking into the void there. Really weird how we're looking into the void. We don't look at it over here, do we? No. Then again, is that because... is that too sunken down? You reckon? The rail line? Well, we're going to find out. Select all these little nodes. So if I do it to that point, and we just object height to there. I suppose it is what it is. Oh wait, I didn't select it. Oh, that's annoying. What is going on with this game? Right. Align. There we go. I noticed stuff changed then. Ooh, okay, so that is actually lower than what we have. So bring it up a bit. I suppose we won't... Oh my goodness me. It is a lot lower than what we have. Right, so if I have this node here, at least kind of elevating upwards. You kind of forget to... Well, I'm kind of forgetting to counter in the angle. Right, we'll play around with this when we start getting trains coming through, because I then have to judge the height of it. But it's not too bad. It's not amazing, but it's not too bad. At least we then have the train line running through, which looks pretty cool. And we'll then smoothen the edges off. And do you reckon it makes more sense for me, because obviously we're creating them little voids there. There we go, to push the road slightly back. So if I select you, select you, select you. And then it kind of gets rid of the void. It looks semi-normal. Semi-normal, he says. So it does mess up some of my zoning. Like, quite a bit. But they'll live. They'll live. It's not the end of the world. I like it. I like it. I do actually like it. It's weird to say. Now, we don't need any more railing apart from on this side here. So, if I sort that bit of railing out now, before I do forget. Oh, there's a little section there where I managed to get it locked on. Okay. We can work with it. So I brought that to there, paged it up. Okay, maybe I can't. I'll bring it to there. Where's the next node? It's here, but I can't grab it. Right, if I select everything but roads. Beautiful. Just makes things slightly a little bit easier. Not everything easier, but that's when we kind of bend it back slightly. So difficult to select some of it. I know some of it clips it and you can't barely see it, like here, but it gives you that effect where it's so broken that people need to repair it. It's also kind of weird watching people walk over that way. But I could also slightly move the train line over to not make that edge so harsh. But messing around too much of it is going to take away from what I'm trying to do. I'm spending way too much time on sorting this out. But I like it. In a weird way, I kind of do like it. Alright, I'll do the last bit now here. So if I just do it from here to, let's say, there. And then I move you over to here. Oh. Didn't mean to move you. To there. And I think that's as far. I don't need to go all the way up. Just on the dangerous bit. And then. There we go. We'll leave it like that. It's very funky. I get that. But I kind of like the idea of having a broken wooden fence being the barrier to where the train line is. It kind of, that gives me all the vibes what Dead End is all kind of about. So we now need to sort out this. So what I'm going to do is select you and you. Bring that little section, just slightly rise it. It's created a little bit of void, but there we go. And I'll bring that down. Same for this, bring that slightly down, and I think the rest is fine apart from this one. There we go. Bring it a little bit down here then just to kind of counterbalance it all. But the rest of that is now fine to see the train line going all the way through. I like that. I really do. So we have a few little issues right now then. These guys complain about not enough educated workers. Did they add any schools in the end? We have a... No. Don't even tell me that's the only elementary school I've added in. Are you for real right now? Right. Okay, so we'll add an elementary school in just here by the park so people walk over to it. And then I'm going to add one in just here. So we've got 2 placed in, which gives us all the capacity. A high school, on the other hand, we do not have in. So I'll place the high school then. So I can also place the high school by the park too. Because then the kids have like a really good playground in many ways, an area to look out on. Provide the high school then, so that'll start slowly providing all the jobs. There's a little section here, but no, it's all residential that we don't have any demand for. So that actually might bring more demand. It's definitely causing upgrades, having the schools in. I'm surprised I didn't get schools in any sooner. Wow, okay. Right, now then, let's sort out where this road's going to go. I'm going to bring this road down here, and then to go down that way, and just there. And then we'll sort that out at a later date, but I want to try and plan the train lines. So in my mind, the town is going to be here. I feel like we're going to have something going this way. And, I don't know, might do something down here where we bring the road down. I might terraform the land or something like that. So in my head, I'm always going to have... Maybe I build a road from here, bending down that way, and then we connect this up via a roundabout to some degree. Is what we'll do. So... National Road. Right, there we go. So... If I use the National Road going somewhat straight to here. And so if I was to create a little crossing, it might happen round about there. So if I utilize that as where I'm going to take it. And then if I bring that road around there like that, I don't know what it's going to do. I'll probably end up deleting it at some point. But if I utilize and make that be the national road that tears through down here, and then this just becomes like another connection in many ways. So I can either bring it down here and create the connection there. I can bring it almost like a T-junction and create the connection there. But then where would I run the train line? So the train line's obviously going to come up, turn here, and then maybe bend that way and run parallel with the road. That's probably what I want it to do. But then I'd have to make the town... Make the town on this side, but the town will be around here. So then if I brought that connection down to there, or I'd bring that connection down to there. Let me run the train line with it, because it'll make a little bit more sense in my head. So train line. If I ran with it to here, where the majority of the straight section is, and then that's going to kind of... I mean, it could go through as a tunnel, but I'm going to bend it, curve it round and in. So if I utilized, and let's say I kind of brought this. Alright, I'm trying to get as close to a 90 degree as possible. That's almost bang on. And then where does that snap happen, you reckon? 40? Bam. So the train line kind of just ooh, that kind of goes uphill. That's interesting, isn't it? And then comes down and then off it skedaddles. And then we want to set up a little town, don't we, really? So thinking about it now then, when you see the train line like that, it then kind of gives you an idea of then where you place the station. Wherever I place the station is where we're going to build the town up and around it. Now, is having that kind of kick away so early enough for the train line here? I don't think it is. I think we might need to bring this up a bit further to create that bend. So everything I've just added in was a lie. A complete lie and a shambles. So if I bring this at least to, if I can get it right, bam, there. And if I do a 60, I'm trying to get a 90 degree as close as possible. Right, we'll go to there. And bring that to there. And that's all great. Because then I can create my little train line off this. So my options are planting the station here and then building off this area. But you got to be kind of careful with the national road, how that kind of tears through. The national road could actually kind of complement it all the way up. And I create a roundabout there and then the small town around it, which might be a better option than going all the way down to here. So you know when your boy says that I have no plans or ideas of how I'm going to build the dead end area? Do you believe me now? I have no ideas and no plans. So it starts to bend about there, doesn't it? Now, I know it's a 62 by 62, but that's not saying I'm going to do a 62 by 62. But if I kind of mimic it to a certain degree, if I was creating a 62, I mean, it's not far off there, but I'm going this way. So if I go to... oh, actually, you know what I can actually do? Create a road like this. Well, that's completely off. Hold on. Well, actually, let me see where this runs all the way down to first. Ooh. So if that ran down to there... Where is this? 27 by 27. That was made perfect for this bend. Okay. Okay. And then let's see what I can get away with this. Right, if I follow that then, I'm actually going to delete this again. I'm going to have this pull away earlier and then kind of run straight that way so I can create more of a straighter line. So, bear with me on this, guys. I have a plan. Trust me, I have a plan. If I go to there and then go like that, this will allow me to create my town. So, station then, like I've kind of showed off quickly. I got a couple of stations of the workshop. We have like a standard version, which is really kind of for areas very, very remote and rural where there's not really any buildings to it. I got this small little, beautiful little station as well, and I got this one as well, which is like another version. It's like a smaller version, a smaller stub in ways. So we are elevating up on the ground, which leads me to kind of place this up a little bit more further. So if I dropped you here, and that is where the line is going to run for this train track. So we do get down to about there. So if I ran this to here, that bend takes place in a 15 by 15 universe. I've got the wrong type of build setting on too. I've got it like to the ground. No idea why. It's always a kind of mimic the leveling of this building, really, isn't it? That's all it's there to do. So if I now select everything but the road, deselect you, go to there, and then slope it. Damn! I didn't realise there was such a drop here. And there's me trying to level it all out. Right, if I select this one then, and bring this down to Earth, And then what I'll do is I'll slope this one first. A part of me wants to include this road. What is the terrain like? Because this is completely throwing me off. Terrain heights. Okay, it's more flat there, but it does actually go quite dramatically up. So, if I smoothened it off slightly. Smoothing this plane off here. So we could maybe kind of somewhat get this to an equal height. Alright, pause it so I can do some more smoothing in. Try and almost borderline get these to connect. Bring it down to here. Alright, we should have a little bit more to work with. So, you bring you up. And then alright, if I select all these again to about there, that's what they do. And I should be able to smoothen this one side. And it's quite sheer on that side, but that's going to be like the cool thing about this area again. We then borderline almost have like a little sunken highway near it. So I can either have them following the terrain levels, which is perfectly fine, or I could also bring the highway up to that level too, or keep the highway drop down like that, which is probably like maybe a better option for me. And then I can have you connect into there, and it's like that's the kind of turn off of this area. I might, eventually maybe drop a roundabout there to go in that direction. But the town literally is like a little. It almost borderline is going to feel like a little service station off the highway, the national road, which is quite cool. So going across by a 10. Well, let me just do some 10s real quick. So delete all these. We got our 10s set up. So going up to here now is another 20. So I could go up to there. And the road does start to bend at this point. So I could do a straight 10 by 10 bend here to kind of finish it all off. Getting that running down. And then this is a little bit different. Still having that, multiple run going through. So it's a very different vibe. It's going to be a very, very different vibe, this town. And cul-de-sacs wise, spin that right round. 1, 2, 3, 4. Might be a bit too close for that. Could drop one there. And then we frail this out. And then that is literally the town. Like the brand new town that we're going to add in. And then, of course, we'll have one here, which will slightly be a bit more built up, this one. I feel like this will be one where we might throw in a little bit of high density. Might build a little sports stadium down. Because it's like the edge of the peninsula, it's like it got a little bit more going on for itself than any of the other little towns. Which I think this one might be a little cool thing. I'm liking this idea. I am liking this idea. So, you know what I'm going to say, guys, in the comment section right now is give me some name suggestions for this little town. And I like how it's a little bit different, where instead of a roundabout connection to it, it might be that I have to build a roundabout connection at some point. But as of right now, we can kind of get away with not doing one. But it's like a little service station to the area. It just feels really, really weird and unique. I kind of like the idea. So there's Dead End, which what I'm going to do right now is actually kind of trim the edges up around Dead End. There we go. Just kind of bulk up to there a bit. You kind of then get the idea where not Dead End, sorry, Tumbleweed. You kind of get the idea where Tumbleweed then is. Then we have our next little town just here, which is called Cypress Square. So give me some name suggestions in the comment section, guys, for this. We're just now going to hook up the train line to it. So as we come directly out, we can bend up and go around. So let me bring this further up. I just wonder if there's a snap involved anywhere. 92, that's almost 90 degrees. Nice little wiggle. It does look a little bit funky. Don't get me wrong. So instead of doing that bend like that, we'll make it bend. We'll go straight. So then a 14 by 14 like that. So it's not windy and bendy. It's more simplified for the trains. So is this now dramatically always going to have that little indentation in it? Or do I eventually bring it up to a level with it? So if I selected, let's say, this little section there, and I raise this up to be like kind of like semi-normal, and then not select you, but select you then to slope the terrain, we're gonna get that indentation. Right, okay. And then if I went from this side down to there, it's a little bit more normal. We'll go with it, because obviously when they build a train line, they have to carve into the terrain, the ground, to kind of get those flat levels in a sense. But then what I'll do then is kind of then build a crest. So now I select from you to there. And we'll slope. That's so you're going up, you reach the brow of the hill, and you're pretty much going back down. And then we'll pause it for a minute. Smoothing the edges off a bit. Doesn't look as harsh, but you still got that slight indentation. And then we're on for a winner. It's just this is a bit funky, but the levels we have to kind of play this at, it is what it is. But it's pretty cool, isn't it? I like the idea of this place. I like the idea of this little town. I'm liking the sheer edges that we've kind of got created for it. Creates a real nice vibe for this little area. As you're driving down, you got the trains tooting past you on the edge, and you turn to go down. It's like trains for days. And it kind of does make me want to kind of align this slightly a bit more. So let me see what I can do. Bringing that up a bit. There we go. So it looks a little bit more straight lined. This will be a little bit more difficult to get away with it. Okay. Apparently it's out of range. But yeah. Wha-bam! Shabam! Not too shabby. So we can now officially extend the train line to the next stop, but we don't really have anybody living here. So let me do what I need to do first. So we don't have any power, so let me just pause. And we'll run some commercial then. I run commercial in this little section there. That becomes our little shopping district for this little section. And then we'll run some residential around here. I've got to upgrade those roads. Can't forget that. On the cul-de-sacs. So if I just do that for now. And do I do a little bit of industrial in this area? Maybe we can have a little spot of industrial. I mean, it would kind of need to be out of the way of the... Nah, I won't do any industrial just here. It's just a simple little living town. Maybe we create like a little industrial workspace nearby somewhere. Maybe we crisscross it over there. I think that's what we'll end up doing. But power lines anyway right now. We'll select on the inside line. And just run it straight to here. So that will provide what it needs then to kind of get rocking and rolling. There's no need for us to kind of... I say, if I build a train line now, it's only going to really be shoppers. But that will then spark a little bit of residential growth. So let's extend the train line to the next line. So if I go from here, drop it to over there, which then does mean I don't have any stops here now. So if I drop one there on that side, so it becomes a double platform stop. We do have the little bus route going through. Maybe at some point I do a bus route from here to over here. But then that would make the train line slightly redundant. So it is what it is. People are already at the train line. Holy moly, they're already here. And we'll just keep an eye on the traffic. Because if the traffic gets a little bit too hectic, a little bit too crazy, then we'll have to think of setting up some roundabouts or maybe some turning lanes and whatnot. But again, this I ain't going to expand or build any more roads off this. This is as far as this little town is going to go. But it's just in the outskirts. It follows the train line. We got the sheer edge going off, which we could build something here. Do we have any natural resources here is the question. No, we don't. That would have been cool for a little, maybe like a little oaring community. But I like the little kind of edges that it creates, the little bit of stuff, the unique stuff that we've got going down right now, which is not too bad. I like the sunkenness of the train line. Where is the trains anyway? Train's coming. So I put it into play mode. I want to see the train go through this. So now it only technically crosses two roads on both sides of the platform. I could drop it down and make it go under the other two roads there, but that all passes through. Passes through wonderfully. Toots slowly up the hill. Picks up the passengers over here. It's pretty cool, isn't it? Nice little addition to the area. So, train line being heavily utilised in this area. I think the train line will then stop here at a place. And then, if I did build something over here, maybe I could then run a parallel line with it. That then goes down in this direction maybe at some point. Who knows? Those guys need sewage. Sewage treatment is okay. What do you mean sewage? Is it the power letting us down? Wait, do I have power over here? Yeah, I do. What do you mean you need sewage? Let me see what these water pipes are saying. Is it because of how far away we currently are? If I did that, does that give us a little bit more sewage pumping power? Not really. Maybe it's because of the sheer distances that they're travelling. Does that shorten the distance for these guys? When it comes to pumping sewage? Nah, it doesn't really shorten the distance. But then again, I don't really have anything crisscrossing, do I? So if I use this to crisscross the pipes, to create a more dedicated route over here, does that then give them the sewage that they need? Or am I just going to have to turn on another pipe? I mean, I've got the money to do it. I'm just kind of interested. I've then really shortened that distance rather than having to go all the way up there and that way. Right, I'll turn on another pump. So we'll turn on this one. On. And do you... Yep, there we go. Wonderful. Wonderful. So we're back up and running. They can now handle like little sewage needs. And what we've zoned in is pretty much now all built, apart from your little spots there in the residential areas. But our little town is now up and running. So we now get to utilise this a little bit more, which we'll have to keep an eye on this junction, because I don't think I've kind of vastly done much to it. Sunken little train line tears through the middle of Tumbleweed, which is pretty sweet. It's on the outskirts of this town, which is interesting. I like this little town here. Nice little stopgap to something a little bit bigger over here. There's a weird little patch here. What's going on here? Are we still polluting really bad? Where's pollution? Yeah, we're still polluting. But we are starting to get a big chunk of money coming in again. So maybe it's time to turn on one. How much are these again? Okay, 1,000. Right, if I turn on 2 of them. A little bit of time pass by. Slowly clean up a little bit more. But again, we're pumping so much, Jim. We're consistently making that chocolatey goodness. Is the best way to put it. Right, if I move this over to here, move this one right over to here right now. Oh, no, cancel that. I can afford to turn both of these on, I believe. Which, again, over time, it does take a while before you just start seeing those improvements, but you can see the white little patches now coming. Oh, actually, do you know what? We can see the improvements straight away. So it's very white here. There's still a little bit of poop seeping through here and everywhere. So you can see the difference between here. That was passed through before I turned it on, versus this bit now. So we are reducing the amount of chocolate coming through. It just feels so weird to say the amount of chocolate coming through. But every little helps, right, guys? Every little helps as we slowly progress and push forward. We're slowly getting there. There's little seeps of it. But we'll keep getting there. We'll keep getting there, guys. Maybe I throw a few more down now. So what if I get 1, 2, 3. If I get 3 wide on the bend. You can see that little section there versus this little section here. Very interesting. But very expensive. Very expensive. That's the other part of it. Guys, I think we're going to end it for here anyway. I think we are going to end it for here anyway, guys. Hope you did enjoy this episode right now, where it's kind of laid down the kind of future lines for more stuff. Browntown set up. Browntown waste facility kind of now set up. That water's definitely looking a little bit cleaner around this area. We've extended the train line right now, which allows people to get to and from certain areas a little bit more easier. Really does increase the... which we could actually be at the point where we might need a second train on this line. That could be a possibility. A little bit of death spinning about. We did create our little community section right now, if you want to call it, crematorium area, which it might need more stuff added to it with the capacity that we currently do have. But things are now rocking and rolling in the right direction. I've reduced the amount of train crossings to allow the traffic to flow through a little bit easier. And we'll continue doing some more expansions over here. Got to upgrade some of these roads as well, so they're looking at all the same kind of design. But this place ain't too shabby, if you ask me, guys. It ain't too shabby. So I think we might need to build like another little industrial area at some point, even if it's something as simple as expanding the industrial area over there, the oil industry. But I reckon a normal, just kind of dirty industry kind of space area would be a good shout. Feel like it might be a good idea to place somewhere where we could utilize the train lines as well, because we won't need that little import-export area. We got a bit of room to expand over this side, so I'll do that as well. But like I said, having another additional one in, maybe around here will be a good idea. We can kind of utilize from the train line in that direction. Plenty of options for us. But until next time, guys, I'll see you all soon. So, good.